one day latex workshop. So now, till now we have talked about the mathematical views and mathematical perspective, how to print the mathematical equations, derivations, and all. Now we are going into a new concern, which is nothing but printing the tables. Okay, so we are going to talk about how to print the tables. So before entering that, I need to give some of the useful precise keywords. Okay, actually there are two keywords that are precisely important. So one is going to be the v skip. So there is a keyword called v skip. So v skip is nothing but the vertical skip. So if you want to give particular amount of space between the lines or between the images or between the two components in the latex, if you give lot many lines, as like if you give four consecutive enters, or if you give four consecutive or five consecutive enters, you cannot expect that it will be print as such. So there is a, if there is a gap, or you cannot expect those gap. As you can see in the right side, you can't expect those gaps. So for that you can use the keyword called v skip. So v skip is in one method, so that you can give the notion, or you can give the exact measure how much distance it should be left or left empty. So you can use the v skip 2 centimeter. So you are saying that this line and this line should be separated with 2 centimeter. So you can see that there is a gap in between them. So this is one of the important thing. Another one is okay, yeah, okay, right now. Okay, now here another one is head skip, so which is called as horizontal skip. So you can use head skip followed by the definition, like 2 centimeter or how much measure you need to have. So you can see that this has been separated. Like if you give 8 centimeter or 6 centimeter in here, if you use the head skip as 6 centimeter, you can see that that has been displayed here. So you can see that how much space has been created. The horizontal space has been created in before the piecewise linear equation. Okay, so these two are important things. One is going to be the head skip, another one is going to be the v skip. So both are very important keywords with respect to the with respect to aligning and stylizing the paragraphs. So okay, next thing we are going to talk about the table. So the table is an important form of data visualization, even we will data representation. So we'll be often using the table in many contexts, like for giving the numerical result, for showcasing some of the pictorial image in the tabular way, so that we can have a lot many. We'll be using lot many tables for that. So the table is one of the important things. So let's talk about the table now. So in the in the latex, you can use the table by using begin of table. So by using the begin of table, by typing itself, you can get the suggestion from the overleaf. If you press enter, you can see that lot many lines are entered. So you have to get through what are those lines are. Okay, now so I'll explain one by one, and yeah, okay, the first line is concerned the slash begin table and followed by the specifier, right? So the specifier is concerned, why there is a specifier is this is nothing but the float specifier. We call it as float specifier. Okay. Right now we call it as float specifiers. So there are lot many float specifiers are there. We are going to list one by one. So first one is going to be h, so which means that float here. So what is this float here talks about is you have to fix the table at the position itself. Okay, at the position itself. I'll talk about why it has been moved here and there is, let's say you want the tables to be displayed at the top of the page, or you want to position the table at always at the table at the bottom of the page, or you have to highlight the table in a special page. So for those kind of scenarios, you can expect or you can insert the float specifier. So for that only we are using the float specifier. So the okay, I'll give you one more typical example here. Mm. Okay, no worries. As I proceeds by, I'll give you some of the examples with respect to the float specifier. So H is nothing but fix the position where I have given. So that is what the H stands for. And T stands for, there is one more thing which is T. T is nothing but top of the page. And B is nothing but the bottom of the page. And P is nothing but put on a page for floats only. And exclamation, we'll be using the exclamation, so which is nothing but overriding the internal parameters. So overriding the internal parameters. So next thing is going to be the okay, B I have mentioned, and there is one more thing called uh, okay, this HTB and capital H. So this capital H is nothing but it additionally requires a package called use package of float. And why we need this is something like a precise location. So H can here like it can be floated here and there, like it can be pasted in upper or bound or whatever the text can be adjusted with respect to the table, whereas this capital H talks about very precise, fixed at that point. This table should belongs or should belong between these two paragraphs. So that is what about the capital H. So I'll talk about that. I'll give an example for that so that you can understand. So this is nothing but fix at the accurate position. And yeah, this is what interesting about the float specifiers. And here we are going to give small h. I'll talk about one by one. So next thing is going to be the centering. So the table should be placed whether in the left manner or right hand manner or in the center. So that can be specified here. If anything is nothing is given here, it will be specified as the left alignment. So you can see the example here. So here you can see that. So next thing is if I give centering, if I give the centering, you can see that this list line has become center. So now next thing is the important one, which is nothing but the tabular. So this tabular contains the content that are to be displayed in the table, content inside the table. So inside the first line of the begin tabular is having begin tabular followed by the inside the parenthesis we have C I mean one vertical slash followed by C, right? So here this specifies you are using the two columns. Okay, C is not for the columns, here C is for the center. Okay, here C is for center, not for column. Okay, now here, so here what we are trying to give is we are trying to create a two columns. So if I want to create a third column, I can use C again. So if I want to give one more column with, okay, I'll talk about this one by one. Now, right now here the vertical line between those C represents there is a divider or there is a cell over there. So here let's say, okay, I'll just proceed by, you can understand as I proceeds by. Now I have created the three columns, right? So one I'm going to give it as TechZ, and for the next element, next column I'm going to give as academy, and for the consecutive thing I am saying Chennai. So as we have seen in the math package, we are going to use ampersand to separate the elements. So the TechZ will corresponds to the first row and first element, and ampersand will go for the next column. So first row, second, and for consecutively, Chennai will occupy the first row, third column, and this double slash will move the controller to the next line, which means that next row here. So if I print this, just see an example. So you can see that it has been printed like TechZ Academy and Chennai. Now, if I print here again, the next row, it is occupied by the next row. Here you can see two things. You can notify two things. This line, okay, this line, that is a vertical line between the TechZ and Academy, right? Which is nothing but the cell separator. So this will be hidden when I erase that vertical line here at this specifier. Okay, so here I am saying that the first column followed by no line should be there, followed by the second cell, followed by the cell specifier cell border, followed by the cell, another cell. Okay, now if I need to have one more border, the left side border for the TechZ and the right side for the border for the Chennai, so you can use one more vertical symbol at the beginning and end of the C. So now you can see that all the vertical borders will be there. So now, and one more thing is, if you want to give the horizontal line, so here there is a horizontal line missing, right? So for that you can say slash h line. Okay, so if you insert the slash h line, you can see that it has been top has been covered, and similarly after the first row you have to use the slash h line. So you can see that is also done. And now after that, if you use h line again, you can see that a perfect table has been formed now. Okay, now you can see that it is at the center alignment. Okay, now if I use anything, a mega paragraph like this, so let's say, so if I use any mega paragraph like this between at the second row, second column, you can see that it is going beyond and beyond. So the C corresponds to the center, and the center will allow you to type only one line. Okay, it will often, if you type enter a mega line, it will go beyond the margin. So in order to make it possible, in order to make it in a complete sense, you can make it like if you want to enter multi-lines or if you want to make it as a paragraph, you can use the keyword called here, the specifier. Instead of C, you can use P. So if you enter the P, which is nothing but the paragraph, okay, so it stands for the paragraph, you can take it as a paragraph. So at that paragraph you can use 5 centimeter. Let's say I'm just talking about the width of the cell. Now you can see that the width of the cell is set as 5 centimeters. So you can see that it is occupying the 5 centimeter, whereas you can see this academy has become the left aligned. So I have told you that this corresponds to the column. So you can see that this P of 5 centimeter has made the entire center column as a left aligned as a paragraph manner. Okay, this is one of the drawbacks. And what are all the parameters that we can give here? Okay, that is going to be one more question, right? So that can be given, that can be set as L. Okay, you can give, talk about here. So specifiers in tabular. Okay, so which is nothing but here, yeah, here you can use P, so which is nothing but the paragraph that I have told you. And next thing you can go for the B. Okay, this is nothing but normal paragraph, normal pair box. Another one is B, which is nothing but bottom line, or yeah, alignment at bottom, we can say. Another one is M. M is nothing but you can go for alignment at vertical center. You can go for next one is going to be L. So L is for left align. Another one is going to be for okay. So these are parameters available. So if I use M, let's say 4 centimeter, I hope this will be supported by it. Okay, we need one more additional package for this. Okay, we need one more additional package. I'll talk about that in further details. Now, okay, now we have talked about C and P and L also. So now this is how the table has been formed. Now we are having an issue. So let's say this academy has to be present at the center. We don't want at the left align, but we have given this paragraph as a we have given this middle column as a paragraph break. So, but we need it in the center aligned. So you can use one technique actually. So this is often we'll be using. So which is nothing but the multi-call technique. That is multi-column technique. So what is this multi-column technique is talking about is you can make this as a multi-column and you can implement whatever the constraint that you have or whatever the alignment that you want. Okay, so what is exactly about this? For implementing the multi-column, you have to use the package called multi-call. Okay, you have to use the package of multi-call. Okay, so now we are going to implement the package called multi-call. Even the multi-call, even without using the package also you can implement, and some of the latex compilers are allowing that, some of the latex compiler are not allowing that. It is safety to enter, declare the multi-call obviously, explicitly. So now here what you are going to do is you are making this academy, this is going to be the one column. We are not going to link any other column also, but we are having the multi-column, but we are making it as we are making it as one column as a multi-column. That's all. So this is a purely implementation strategy, nothing theory about this. So here, if you see the multi-column, it has a recommendation of 3 blocks. Okay, I'll talk about the basic structure here. Multi-column. Okay, so slash multi-column of okay, slash multi-column of 3 blocks are there. So first block is representing the number of columns you have to combine. Number of columns you have to combine. The second one is going to be the alignment, and third column is going to be the which text you are going to apply. Okay, so this is what the syntax. So multi-column has the 3 segments. One is going to be the number of columns, and second one is going to be the alignment, and third one is going to be the text. Now here, if you see the here, I told you that we are going to use only one column. So number of column is going to be 1. So which alignment you need? Center alignment. C. Here this block, okay, this block and this block is entirely same. These two are same. Okay, so this has its own usage. The usage of these two are the same. So now inside that I need to have academy. Okay, so if I run that, you can see that the academy has been made as a center alignment. And one more thing you have to look ahead with, that is you don't have any the table separator here, which means that this column, this, okay, I have selected a portion p of 5 centimeter and followed by the one vertical bar. So this has been replaced with the multi column, so which means that you have to specify the end of this cell. So for that you are including a pipe symbol over there. So now you can see that the multi-column one of the vertical symbol, vertical line followed by the academy. So you can see that now the TechZ academy is at the center alignment and Chennai is at the center alignment. So now, if you want the bold, you can select it and you can click the bold button. So that is obvious thing. I have told you about this in the morning itself. So everything, the every text working over here will work. Will work. Now, so I have talked about this H line and this double slash also. Now, next thing is caption. So the caption is concerned. It is going to be followed in the this time also. What is that? In the image also we'll be having this command. So this caption is nothing but the word that you are going to use here. Okay. So inside the caption, let's say table for table explanation. Okay, so by having that, by changing that, you can see it has been given. So, and one more thing is here we have the label. So this label is nothing but the reference label that I have told already. So let's say table tab colon table explanation. It is not mandatory that you have to use the tab colon. So it is for the convenience, ease of convenience and ease of notioning. We are using that. So let's say a table and you can cite it here. So ref tab of table explanation. So you can see that it has been applied here. So now what we are trying to do here is if I paste any text. Okay, now okay, okay, I'll come to this table now later. Now, here when we talk about the specifier, we have talked about the top and bottom and all. So there we can say, let's say if I give any bottom, so if I give as bottom, so this table one is because of this. Okay, let's say as the okay. Now here, if I give the bottom, so I have given the table and followed by the textual paragraph, right? So even though I have given the table in front of or above the paragraph, since I have given the specifier as the bottom, it has been displayed at the bottom of the page. So now, in this case, let's take a scenario. If I have given the table at the after the passage, and I have given the specifier as t, which is nothing but the top of the table. So you can see that it has been present at the I mean, at the top of the page. The page will start with that table. So this is how the HTB will work. So next thing is another thing I have talked about is capital H. So the capital H, I don't think now I can explain you that in clear. But the thing is, okay, as far as the capital H is concerned, we have to use the float package. So you have to implement the float use passage package of float float, and here you have to use, okay, let's say you are having this and you are going to use the capital H. Now what happens here is your page will be, I mean, your text will be fixed at that, if a table will be fixed at that position. So if you give that t or p or I mean, t means the top or bottom or some other specifier, you cannot strict the position or you cannot strict the any other thing. But whereas here you can see it here. Now let's say I am giving one more additional paragraph like this, even some more. Okay, now here if you see this. So now in this scenario, if I put any B or T, okay, so you can see that this has been moved, this table has been moved. Okay, so it has been moved here to the next page. Whereas there are text inside that, it is irrespective, it is moving irrespective of the text here. This is useful when you type some of the books, in even in some books like data, yeah, mining the massive data set, we call it as MMD. So in those books and all, the table will be in the next page, whereas the reference for the table will be in the before page itself. Those kind of stuff are because of these kind of table definitions. So and that is permissible, actually that is permissible in the many textbooks. So even in the network security book, I forgot about the name, it is a very high volume book. So in that book also it has it, and even many comics book, if you talk about any comics book or if you relate any economics books, you can see those changes. Like the, if I explain the table here, let's say I am going to explain the table, the middle of the paragraph, okay, cite let's say table table book, okay, ref, sorry, table. Now, if I have a reference like this, you cannot expect that this should be, the table should be available at right next to next step itself. So we cannot expect that. And even most of the journals are giving an exemption for this. For example, if you talk about any Indus Science or even the IEEE is also giving those exceptions. So the table explanation will be at the previous page, and the table will be at the next page. So those kind of things are permitted in the many of the journals, even the many of the books. Okay, so that is one more thing I need to convey there, and don't worry about that. And okay, next thing we are going to talk about is, okay, now we have talked about the multi-column. So now, okay, now we are going to talk about the real multi-column. So at that occasion, we have talked about how to center the particular element alone. But now we are going to talk about the real multi-column, which is nothing but we are going to specify some more amount of columns here. So now I am going to create two column. So which is nothing but I am going to combine the two column as academy. So when I do the multi-column of two, and I don't want to enter anything with respect after the ampersand. Okay, so okay, sorry. Even I don't need the ampersand too. So now you can see that here the academy has been combined, and this has been the entire the two columns has been merged and made with the center alignment, because we have given as the center alignment. So which means that from the P of 5 centimeter to the C inclusive of the delimiter, or we can say the cell border inclusive of that, will be replaced with the replaced with the multi-column statement. So I'm just highlighting the for the purpose of understanding those these two statements. This in the first row, this statement has been replaced with this. Okay, so that is what the understanding over there. So now, okay, now if I use the P, which is nothing but the paragraph option, and with respect to a, let's say 6 centimeter, so you can see the example here. You can see that we can give anything over here. I mean, we can give anything, the 6 centimeter or whatever we can give, but it will be linked out automatically, it will linked out to the last column. So no worries. The thing I have to glorify here is the left alignment of that multi column. Okay, so next thing is I mean, yeah, next thing we are going to talk about is, we have talked about the multi column. Next thing we are going to talk about is multi row. Okay, we are going to talk about the multi-row. So for that multi-row, we need one more package called slash use package of multi-row. Okay, let's see. Here, if we take an example, okay, I'll go for this paragraph, I mean this table, second table. So now I have to combine the first column here. The two first columns are there, so I mean two rows are in the first column. So I'm just going to convert them into a single column, which is nothing but the TechZ. Okay, now so for that slash multi row. Okay, it is also comprised of four components. No need to worry about that. So as I told already, it is going to be accompanied by three. So here the same thing for multi-row, whereas okay, number of rows followed by the alignment followed by the text. Now um, here now here number of okay, I have used multi-row, right? Multi-row. I am going to combine the two rows. Yeah, two rows with the same width. I have to inherit from the parent. So parent in the sense, so this width I cannot expect that. So okay, here I have talked about the alignment. Sorry, it is about the width. Okay. The second component in the multi-row is about the width. So now here I am going to inherit the parent structure. Parent structure in the sense this structure. So this width. So what width is used for this first column, it will be inherited if you put the star symbol, asterisk symbol, and then followed by the TechZ. So which means that I have combined the two rows and made it. I mean, I have combined the two rows and made it as an inherent of the parent, and then made it as a TechZ. Now there is no use for this TechZ, so it should not be there. So it should be kept empty. Okay. So okay, this H line. Okay, there is one more troubling point. Is nothing but the H line. So here, instead of this H line, the H line will occupy all the columns available in the table. Now I'll talk about the H line in a minute. So now, so this is how the output of this. Now, if I need to if I need to have a column line for this two columns along, so I can use C line option. So the C line option will talk about okay C line option will talk about for which columns you have to need the line. So if we give C line of 2 comma 3, I mean 2 to 3, you can see that the second column and the third column is filled with the horizontal line. Okay, instead of H line, you can give C line of 2 to 3. Okay, so if you give 1 to 3, which is similar to the slash H line. Okay, so you can see that it is similar to the slash H line. So if you give C line of 3, the line the okay, sorry, it is not permitted. So that needs another package. Okay, now, so here you can see that the C line of 2 to 3 will give the line joining the second row, second column, and the third column. So this is how you will be using the multi-column and multi-row. Okay, the nested usage of the multi-column and multi-row is also permissible. So if you use, let's say, okay, I'll just create one more table for that. So, okay, now if I use like this, let's say, I'm going to use three column matrix. There I am going to use multi-column of 2 and it should be at the center aligned with the cell border, and I'm going to use a multi-row at that position. So for the second, I am going to merge the four columns, the first four columns of the table. So I am just trying to create the 3 cross 3 matrix or 3 cross 3 table. Now, so in the multi-row, I can have 2 and I have to get the parent width and what is the text? I can say, let's say multi column and row. Okay, now I have occupied the 2 cross 2. So now first we'll end up with capital X and next line, next row. So for the next row, I can use the multi-column alone. So 2 and it is going to be C and it is going to be specified, and there will be a no element, and there will be, let's say, X. So I'm going to use C line of 1 to 2, and then I can have X ampersand X and X. Okay, I forget this. H line. Okay, now what I have done here is I have created, or I have yeah, I have created the first two. I have merged the first two rows and the first two columns here, and then I have occupied. So using the nested column, like first I have called the multi-column. I have combined the first two column, and then I have combined the first two rows. Okay, so I have specified here. And next thing is coming back to the second row. At that occasion, I cannot expect the latex specifier to use this multi-row directly. Whereas in this case, in the above case and all, we have used only the ampersand alone. We cannot expect because we are using the multi-column and we are using multi-row inside the multi-column. So that's why we are replicating the command multi-column again. So and then we are moving on with the and then the third column will be comprised of capital X and C of 1 comma 2, and even inside, okay, you can use this instead, and then you can go for the H line here. Okay, so okay, there is one more thing. So okay, I will let you know how to draw the third column, the line for the third column alone. So now you can see that how we have combined the multiple column and the row simultaneously using the nested call first. So this is one more thing, and okay, I will quickly go through how we can import the image and everything and all, so that I can be somewhat satisfied that I have covered many of the things. So still there are a lot many things are there. Okay, let me see. So now I'm just going to insert any image. Okay, let's say okay. Now I have an image here. So okay, now I need to print it over here. So for that you can use the use the keyword called begin figure. So if you use it, it is automatically create a code for you. So whenever you are using the slash begin, you have to end the slash, end that. So slash begin and end centering, as I told in the tabular column, it is same. And slash include is going to be the new statement for you. So I'll talk about once I just started inserting it. So include figure will include the okay. So here let's say cell.png. So I personally recommend the cell.png. So for the file name, okay, I personally recommend that it should be everything should be in the small letter, and you cannot use you should not use any special character like minus or something underscore. You don't try to use those. Just have a single word or combination of words. like combination of numbers and words. Okay, now here there is a problem, uncontrolled define. So since it is an article, I think I have used the article. Yeah, so since it is an article document class, we cannot insert the image directly. So for that you have to use the package called graphics. So it is not graphics, it is cx. Okay, Xerox. So you have to use the graphics, X for Xerox. So you have to use the graphics package. So after inserting that, if you try to enter, you can see that image is being entered. Okay, now here you can see that this image, since the size of the image is very big, so it has been inserted in that way. You have to reduce that size of the image. Okay, so for that you can use the specifier after the keyword of include graphics. So there you can use, you can control the figure with respect to the height and the width. Okay, so height and the width can be controlled over there. Let's say height can be of 5 centimeter, and sorry, width can be of 5 centimeter and height can be of 8 centimeter. So if we specify like that, you can see that image is happening like that. Right now it has been coming under the control. But I personally recommend you to not to use the height factor. Okay, it is not advisable. I usually recommend you to use the width alone. Okay, to have the perfect ratio, like if you control the height, you can mess up with the figure. Okay, so in order to have the control over there, you just try to control the width alone. Even one more step, I'm going one more step also. You can even control this with respect to a variable, which is nothing but line width. Okay, you can use the keyword called line width, which means that you are trying to fill the, or you are trying to fill this image with respect to the line space or line width that is available at the particular page. So if you want to reduce the size of the width, you can use the multiplier. Like if you multiply with 0.4 followed by the slash line width, you can see that this image has been reduced to the 40 percentage of the line width. Okay, this is nothing but 0.5 slash line width says that 40 percentage of the line width. Okay, so if you want to cover with the 30%, you can go for 0.3. Okay, so this is how you have to control the width and height of the images or figure. Okay, again, the caption and the label are similar to that I have told you. And this caption in the table also, in the figure also, you can say you can make it at the top or bottom I mean at your wish. So journal papers request, or journal papers will ask for the specific things like if you see the IEEE transaction and all, the table caption should be at the top and the figure caption should be at the bottom. So if you take in journals like Springer journals and all, the notion will be different. So those kind of stuff will be there. Okay, so this is one more thing. So this is how we can insert the image. And again, while inserting the image also, you can go for the specifier. So I have not specified. So even though I have given at the last, I have inserted the image, but it has been displayed at the center. If I use the hedge, I can say that it can be fixed at the position. But in some cases, you cannot expect this H, capital H, to be work. So there are a lot many cases this capital H won't work. So okay, that depends upon the class file that you are going to inculcate. So next thing we are going to talk about is, yeah, next thing we are going to talk about is how you are going to create a presentation with this latex. Okay, so now So I'm going to create a blank project now. So this is for the presentation. So now we are going to talk about how we are going to create the presentation in the latex. So usually I recommend everyone to create the presentation with respect to the latex because of its rendering quality. Okay, so we don't want any of this. So first segment, as I told, the very first is going to be the document class. So in that document class, for the presentation, we are going to use the beamer class, which is going to be beamer. There are one more package with respect to the presentation creation. So but that is not widely used. The beamer is the one that has been widely used now. So inside the beamer you have two more things. One is going to be theme for the beamer. Another one is going to be the color theme for the beamer. Okay, use color theme. So as a beginner, you can ask how we can find the theme and the color theme, how we can find. So don't worry, we have one more thing called Beamer color matrix. Okay, so that artwork. So I'll share this link with you. So here, if you go enter the artwork, this link, you can see that lot many styles. The presentation styles will be available. So you can use any of those. Okay. Now let's say, okay, my favorite. Okay, so you can see the different colors and different works are there. So how you are going to use this theme matrix is, let's say we are going to use the, uh, okay, this one. Okay, we are going to use this one. So by having the cursor alone, you can see that this theme, by having the cursor on that page, okay, on that image, you can see that it has been displayed as the theme as Beck and color theme as Orchid. Okay, so the Beck color theme as Orchid. So if you use here the the theme function here, Beck and color theme as Orchid, you can directly, yeah, now if you try to run the program, you can't run, you will end up with an error because you don't have any document class at all. Okay, now we have end up with choosing the document class and using the theme. Now the second thing I have talked about, the second part of the code is going to be the author name and so and so structure I have talked about, right? Now I am going to use the title. The first one is going to be the title, TechZ Academy Workshop. So this is going to be the title, and author is going to be, let's say, career in Wales. And now next thing we are going to talk about is institute. Institute has TechZ Academy, and apart from this, I can even use the logo here. So this is one of the important thing. Most of the people don't know about this. So instead of having, I can, okay, you can import the logo as an image file. So I'm just giving an I'm just importing with a as an PNG file. So here you have to include the image with respect to using the slash include graphics. So width I'm going to give it here is 1.5 centimeter, and then the image is going to be logo1.png. So now next to that, okay, here I have given, just again, correct the name. No, okay. Now here after this, okay, now we have done the things, and now we are going to use the begin document. So which is our third part. So inside the third part, now I am going to use the make title. I have told you about this, the what does mean by make title at all. So if I use that, you can see that this is the title slide. Okay, now you can see that here the title and followed by the author and followed by the institution followed by the date. So in some cases the people are asking, I don't want the date, so you can use that date function, and if you left it as empty, the date will not be printed. Okay, if you want to fill it with the date, like let's say November 1, 2020, you can print it like that. Okay, now here and then logo, you can see that logo is been printed at the bottom right corner. So now here you can see that my name, I mean the author name has been printed at the bottom column, and you can see that the title of this has been printed here. Instead of having those things, like instead of having the author name and this title, you can have one more thing also. Here you can add the specifier. So by using the square bracket, and let's say I'm just printing as HP, and inside the title I'm just giving the specifier as workshop. So if I compile it, I can see it has been filled up with HP and the workshop, but the title and the author name is same. Okay, it is not changed, but by adding the specifier you can add it here. So now you are going to create a new slide, right? So in order to create that new slide, you have to create you have to use the function called begin frame. Okay, so this begin frame and end frame, so I have told you about this. Now as soon as the begin frame is considered, you can go for, there is one more block is there. Here you can type the title of the frame. Okay, so here let's say latex introduction. Okay, now so now you can see that the title has become the latest introduction, and the entire slide is ready now. So I can use the begin itemize, which is for bullets. So let's say first item and second. So rest are same. How you have typed the command and how you have incorporated everything will be the same. Here the print will be the center aligned, like let's say middle aligned. We can say it as middle aligned. Like this is the writing area of the PPT or presentation. In that middle, it will be presented at the middle, vertical center. So now, in this case also, you can go for the section and subsection and everything. For that section, if you say introduction, and let's say I'm going to give the final frame as end slide. In slide, and inside that I am going to, okay, here I have created the frame using the begin frame, right? So there is one more method of creating the frame, which is called as frame, just frame itself. Okay, slash frame itself. By using that you can create the you can create the frame, new frame. So there you have to use the frame title command for using the frame title. For applying the frame title, you have to use the frame title command. So let's say conclusion. Now here let's say thank you. Okay, now you can see that it has been done, and it is a thank you slide has been created. So in that top of the section, you can see that the section and the sections has been printed. So inside this, there will be a subsection also. So one more beautiful thing in the latex is, if you download and if you open this in the Chrome or whatever the thing you can say here. Okay, now I have to go for the end slide. Okay, I am listed with the Yeah, now I am listed with the sections that are available in this presentation. Now, if I need to go for the that section, particular section, let's say end slide. If you go to the cursor, sorry, if you go to that end slide word, you can see that. Notice that the entire cursor will be changed as the hand symbol. If you click that, it will be automatically moved to the particular section slide. That is one of the important thing. And one more thing is you can have at the bottom of the slide, every slide you will be having the moving strategies, like you can see that how to move those slides. So this is the first controller is for the next slide, whereas the second is for the last and the front, and next is for the subsections, another one is for the section. So another one is to look ahead with all the sectionings. So those kind of controls are defaultly available in the bottom of the slide, bottom right corner. Okay, so that is one of the important thing. Another one is like in the book and like in the article document class, you can even create the table of contents here. So you can use the slash frame. I have used slash frame. Even you can use a begin frame also. Table of contents. Okay, if you don't use the title, you can see that this title has become empty. So I suggest you to create like frame title. So title as let's say agenda. Okay, if you present it like that, it will be. If you do give it like that, you can see that agenda has become the slide title. So this is how you can present your presentation. Then it is if you dig into the this Be My class, and there are lot many. I mean, there are one more presentation classes also there, but it is not oftenly used. Whereas if you dig into this, you can come across with many new things like new theme matrix, and you can use your own colors and all. Okay, so as far as this presentation is concerned, this is the scenario. And next thing I can give you another one hint is you can use multiple files and multiple folders. Okay, in the left column you can see that new file and new folder, right? Let's say I'm just giving a new folder as sections. Okay, now inside the section I am creating a new file called table of contents, and inside the new file I'm just section 1, and another one is going to be section 2. Okay, now instead of populating the one file to the further extent, I can just make it like I am just cutting this section and making it into section 1. So now I can use, instead of this section, I can use, if I can use the slash include command, and I can include that text file. So if in the include itself you can get the suggestion what I have to including. So there I am going to include the section 1.txt file. So if I press that, you can see the sections followed by the followed by the forward slash followed by the section 1. So if you print this, it is going to be the same scenario. Okay, now instead of having this table of content here, I can make it over here. So now in that place I can use slash include of table of contents, and I can use it here. So similarly for the section 2. So now what you can see here is I am just depopulating the main docx, which is nothing but the main file. Instead of I am just segregating the different files, so that at the time of edition, at the time of editing, at the time of any changes, you can easily change. So if you want to change that one, you can go there and you can just change a particular slide and you can come out of that. So no files will be edited further. So that is one of the added advantage like this. So this is possible also for the article document class. It is also possible for the book document class. Okay, so those two, I mean, it is also possible in any latex that you consider. Even you can place this image file in the some folder. Okay, so this is how you can create the presentation. And yeah, and one more thing I need to conclude. One is going to be the citation. So even people are worried about the citation in the word and all. If you want to cite the paper, you have to count it, and you have to take the number of. I mean, you have to accountable for which number is the paper in the reference and all. So in the latex, you don't want to give a damn about that. So in the latex, let's say I am just going to create only one citation. For example, I'm just going to create one citation. Now, let's say I'm going to create a new file. I'm just proceeding it in a step-by-step way. Just have a note of it. So first thing you have to do is you have to create a bibliography file. So which is nothing but I'm just giving the name as biblio. The extension for this file is going to be bib. Okay, bib. So if I press create, you can see that the bibliography file has been created. So inside this file, okay, now I have to paste the bib text. So how I can extract the bib text is go for the Scholar, Google Scholar. So scholar.google. So inside the Google Scholar, if you search for the paper, let's say uh, artificial neural network. Okay, so now we are having this artificial neural network. Now I'm going to cite this paper. Let's assume that. So now for that you have a cite command, the double quotes command, right? So in that double quotes command, if you press that, you can see there are a lot many citations: MLA, APN, Chicago, Harvard, and followed by. At the bottom you can see that bibtex, endnote, and refman and refworks. So we need the bibtex. So if you press that, you can see it has been displayed here. So you can see the bibtex command. So you can copy and you can straight away come here and you can paste it here. Okay, for the next paper, you can give an enter command and then you can directly enter it. There is no restriction. The only thing is it should be in the separate line. So even you can enter at the very next line itself. So no worries. But the thing is, you have to give it in the next line. That's all. So now you have entered that, right? Now you are going to cite it. Okay, for citing it, okay, before that, the second step. Okay, first step is creating the bib file, and second thing is copying the respective papers bibtex and pasting it here. And third thing is you have to create a bibliography command here. So third thing is the most important thing, which is nothing but creating the bibliography. So here we are going to use bibliography style. We are going to implement bibliography style. Okay, so inside the bibliography style, you can insert whatever the style you need. There are, okay, I will give you the list of options that are available. You can use ABBRV, abbreviated form. Second thing is ACM journal form. Another one is alpha form. Another one is IEEE transaction. So now I'm going to use IEEE transaction. Now, apart from this, there are a lot many. I have just listed few, and even okay, I forgot about that. So now plain and yeah, there is also Siam and there is also APA like, I think so. Yeah, APA like, and there are these many things. You can enter whatever you need. But I'm going to use the IEEE transaction now. And then next thing is going to be bibliography command. So inside the bibliography command, you have to include the biblio file. So which is nothing but biblio.bib. Okay, now so now you have incorporated one file here, and you are now going for you have entered this thing. So on entering this itself, you can see that it has been given as reference. Now you have to cite that paper. So given paper has to be cited. So for that, you have to look ahead with the first word after this curly brace. So there will be at article, there will be at in proceedings, there will be at research and whatever it can be. It is with respect to this article represents that it is a journal article. If it is going to be in proceeding, it is going to be the conference paper. If it is something, there are a lot many things with respect to that. We are not bothered about this thing. I am bothered about the highlighted one, which is nothing but it is after the open curly brace before the title. Okay, there we are having Park 1991 followed by electric. So just copy it. Okay, no need to copy and all. I'll just let you know how to make it happen. So you have to note it down and then go for where you have to cite the paper. Okay, let's say I am going to cite the paper in mid of the table. Okay, now for citing the paper, you have to use the command called /cite. Okay, inside the site you can use the park. If you type the park itself, you can give the get the suggestion, or you can just paste the thing that you have copied from the bibl file. So if you enter it, I mean if you recompile it, you can see it has been listed here. Okay, it has been done in the IEEE fashion. So here you can see that it is automatically numbered. So you need not worry about the numbering here. You just need to acknowledge what is the text that you are given inside the cite command. Okay, whether you have given the proper text with respect to the paper or not. That's all. You can arrange the paper in any order. Okay, you can arrange the paper in any order. That will be sorted for you. That will be sorted. If you say okay, I will show you one more example also. So okay, now, so I am getting one more paper. So in the biblio, I am just making one more thing, and I am going to cite it there. So this is the second paper, is only the thing I have copied. So I have pasted. Now you can see that comparing the author name, this Dristel. So this should be the Stephen name should be come first, and then it should become for the next. So the first author has to become for second, and the second author has to be go first. So that is arranged for you with respect to the latex by the latex. Okay, so it is automatically sorted in the alphabetic order for you, so you need not worry about the ordering. You just need to acknowledge whether you have given the correct citation text there. Okay, so that is what only your aim is. And if you even you can see here the author's second name or the last name has been converted into a single letter, and it has been made. So these are all defaultly available. You can check with the different ones. Like if you use ACM, that will give you the different type of citation. Whichever journal you are publishing, consider that latex file alone, consider that latex format alone, just use that. So here you can see that the ACM journal will have that author name in the caps, and then followed by the so and so structure. So these kind of things are possible in the latex. So you need not worry about the number. You need not worry about which order it has to be there. No need to worry about anything. You just need to acknowledge whether you have copied the correct file, and correct files big text, and you have cited the correct big text alone. So that's all about the reference and the citation. So by this we are coming to the end of the workshop. So I think I have covered the most of the things that are required for writing the journal paper, even for any industrial document.